Matt, here in February, Rusty Wallace led the most laps, and he has the same car today. The problem with the race in February, Rusty says, they were not very good on the longer runs. Car would get too loose. So Rusty said they made changes today, trying to be better on the longer run. He said, we're much better than we were here in February. Dave?
For Dale Jarrett, Marty, 2003 began with 2 top 10s, including a win here at Rockingham. But in the 32 races since, average finish of 24th and only 5 more times in the top 10. Talked to DJ this morning. He qualified 32nd. He said, I'm not alarmed. The car is as good as it was here in the spring. And of course, we won the race. Bill?
Dave, today Matt Kenseth is racing for the championship, something teams do every week, well, almost every week. During the Brickyard 400, Matt and crew chief Robbie Reiser decided to stay out, not play it safe and pit for fuel, but stay out and gamble for track position. When Jack Roush heard about that, the car owner, he said to Robbie, you're leading the points, you're running for a championship. You have to come in and pit. Reiser leaned over, pulled the headset away from Roush's ear and said, Jack, we're not running for points today. This is Indianapolis. We're racing for the win. He put the headset back on Jack. Jack climbed down and sat on the wall. Looked up at Robbie, gave him a thumbs up. Matt finished second that day. If Kenseth finished his second today, he's #1.
Robbie Reiser, climbing up on his pit box a minute ago, gave this message to his driver and team.
Hey guys, we know what we got to do here. Let's just be patient. Let the race come to us. Get this thing done. Good luck, you guys. Remember, we got to work for it. Let's go get it.
Matt Kenseth starting 23rd today in pursuit of the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. We're underway at Rockingham.
And believe me, they would like to get this thing done today. Yeah. Get the pressure off.
Newman leads lap 1. Brian Vickers second. Jeremy Mayfield third. Tony Raines fourth. Rusty Wallace settles in fifth. They're single file back to about 8th or 9th.
Michael Waltrip in the 15 car looks like he was having a little bit of trouble there on that start. Slid up the racetrack in 1 and 2. He's kind of got him boxed up all around him, losing a few spots.
Started the race in 11th position. And he's back to 13th, so he's lost a couple there in the opening go. Now another one as Elliott Sadler slides by him. I talked to Slugger Robbie, Mikey's crew chief, this morning. He said when they tested here a couple of weeks ago, they concentrated on running the bottom and felt like they had their car good to run the bottom all day. That's not Mikey's usual way of going about it. And for Kenseth, try to get around Dave Blaney for 21st place. He started 23rd.
Yeah, normally you guys will start out at the bottom, but then you will start floating up to the top of the racetrack. You can't help it because of the tire wear. Bill?
On the 17 of Matt Kenseth, Wally should be good on the long runs, maybe not fast on the takeoffs, but the longer they go, the car and the driver will get better. Consistency is their goal today, getting through the front by the end of 400 laps, but not at the beginning of it.
Dale Jr. right behind Matt Kenseth. Of course, Jr. second place driver in the championship. And all those numbers that have been thrown around about Kenseth and the championship are all thrown out there based on Jr. winning the race. Basically, Kenseth just needs to have a lead of 186 points or better at the end of the day, and he started the day with a 228-point advantage. Second place here, Jeremy Mayfield working on Brian Vickers. Both the Effingham Dodgers have looked really good so far this weekend.
Yes, they have.
So Mayfield up to second.
You see the 25 car already to the top of the racetrack, and like I said, this is a racetrack you've got to get your car comfortable because you are going to be sliding around all day. It's like racing on ice. If you drive down the road and slip on ice, that's how it is here almost every single lap.
Here the drivers talk about a four-wheel slide all day.
Yep. And you've got to be very gentle on the throttle. When I think of the gas pedal here at Rockingham as an A. You can't slam down on that gas pedal or you'll spin out. You have to just feed the throttle nice and easy because the racetrack is really, really eating those tires up.
Change for fourth place, Jeff Burton around Tony Raines. Behind them, Joe Nemechek trying to hold off Mark Martin for 7th. And we ride with Rusty Wallace, who's now behind Tony Raines in 6th. Matty?
Burton was 4th here last year, nearly won the race. They did not test here at the Rock, but they tested at Darlington a little earlier this year. They felt like those notes would carry over, and they certainly did. The car has been strong all weekend long. They are trying to break back into victory lane, a place that he hasn't seen in over
car looked really good in happy hour yesterday, and their car was set up for the long runs. After about 30, 40 laps on the tires, you could really see him making some gains on the other cars on the racetrack. So we'll see what happens.
Tony Raines losing a couple of spots all at once. Martin to the inside, Nemechek to the outside. What a great job by the 74 team in their qualifying run to get Tony up there in 4th position. Team with basically being backed by its owner, Bill Baumgartner, throughout this season. They've been at all the races. They've made all the races.
Yeah, and they desperately want to be able to finish up and around the areas that they've qualified in some of these places. So slipping back, looks like he's going to lose another spot.
Pay attention to who leads today at lap 50. You could win a trip to New York City to serve as a special correspondent at the Winston Cup Award ceremony. It's the NASCAR Big Apple Sweepstakes. Find out more about it at lap 50. And remember who's leading. Ryan Newman out in front. He's led all of these laps completed so far. 11 of 393 here at Rockingham. Back at Rockingham with a side-by-side race for the lead. Jeremy Mayfield in the 19 trying to take it away from Ryan Newman.
And that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
Ryan doesn't give up very easily.
That's like trying to take a bone away from a hungry dog.
Yeah.
Love that paint job on the 12 car. That is reminiscent of the car that Mark Donohue drove, the AMC Matador, to Roger Penske's first Winston Cup victory back in 1973 at Riverside, California. Marty?
Ryan Newman's car started on the pole, obviously, Alan, trying to hang on to the lead. A little bit tight into the corners, a little loose off. Their concern was not being as good as they would like on the longer runs, but so far he's holding Mayfield off.
Using a lot of racetrack to do it.
Yeah, well, that's not unreasonable here at Rockingham.
No. But that wasn't derogatory in any means. I mean, he's using that high line and able to keep his momentum up enough to stay in front of.
And that's what the 19 Jeremy Mayfield can't do. He can't get off the corner and use all the racetrack. He's breaking his momentum because he has to keep the car down on the low side. So he's actually scrubbing speed off if you run underneath somebody. Now he just decides, well, he's going to make another run at it.
Been a while since Jeremy Mayfield has won a NASCAR Winston Cup race. June of 2000 at Pocono Raceway in Pennsylvania. He's hungry. And we talked about this yesterday during our happy hour coverage here on TNT. Jeremy's a different man now that he and Ray Evernham have worked out this contract extension. He is happy-go-lucky, light on his feet, chatty, smiling. He is absolutely thrilled with his position, where he's at, the race team that's around him. And that kind of morale can only produce good things on the racetrack.
Hey, this is a very, very stressful, high-pressure business. And if you don't have your head on straight, it shows up in the performance of a race car. So now, when you've got things all put away, you know where you're racing, you know who's going to be working for you, you know who your sponsor is, yeah, definitely go out there and race with a clear head.
Walmart Race Fact. Great variety in victory lane here at the Rock over the last 14 races. And 10 of those 14 winners in the field today. There's Johnny Benson, winner here last year. Dale Jarrett, winner in the spring race back in February. You never know who's going to pop up into victory lane at the end of 400 miles. Bobby Labonte tried to slice his way up through some traffic. 18 cars starting in 14th position. He's working around Joe Nemechek to try and get 9th. And Mark Martin to try and get another spot. Dave?
18 car for Bobby Labonte. Pretty good right now. He's been quiet on the radio. I talked to Bobby right before the start of the race, and he wasn't very talkative then either. So I asked him a series of questions about his race car relating to the things that are very good at this racetrack, balance, and over the long run, how is your car? And every answer was very short, but very positive.
Pretty busy here.
So Bobby Labonte back in 8th position now, and again trying to get 7th spot away from Mark Martin. BP, you made it.
I made it. What'd I miss?
Ryan Newman and Jeremy Mayfield racing for the lead.
Oh, fantastic.
Have fun.
Where's my partner, Bobby Labonte, running back in 8th?
Yep.
You had the lead in the 72 car for a while.
I did.
You get bonus money for that?
No bonus, no money or points.
But you had fun.
I did have fun. It was awesome.
Outstanding. Ward Burton picking up a spot on Brian Vickers, sliding back from the front row. That'll be fifth, make that fourth place. How about 25 car, Dave?
Alan, his car is a little bit loose, and he's got a new spotter this weekend. Already a young driver going through a couple of different spotters to get a comfortable feel. The guy upstairs today, his car owner, Ricky Hendrick. Young guy who used to race in the series and now is giving Vickers this opportunity. Car owner, of course, in the Busch Series, Ricky Hendrick becoming a spotter. He said, I was really nervous doing this today. It's the first time he's ever spotted.
Well, it's the first time he's ever driven a Winston Cup car here at Rockingham, so
they're together in their lack of knowledge.
Exactly. That's a lame leading the blind right there.
Ooh. Jamie McMurray, 42, trying to get a spot from Greg Biffle.
You know who my very first spotter was?
Who?
In Atlanta. My very first Winston Cup race.
Was it Benny?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you don't probably remember that, but yep.
All right.
And I heard a lot of, oh, man.
All right.
That's terrific. This is for 10th and 11th place here between this year's two top rookie contenders. McMurray kind of taking a commanding lead in the Rebestos Rookie of the Year Championship here over the last month or so. He's up 33 points on Biffle. Although there are always those discretionary points to be awarded. Here's a guy on the move toward the front. Dale Earnhardt Jr. started 26th. He's 14th now. Next car ahead of him there, Jeff Gordon to catch for 13th. Jr. has just flat out not run well here at Rockingham in his Winston Cup career. No lead lap Rockingham finish in 7 races. Average finish 29th.
But they tested here twice this year, and I talked to Tony Uri Jr., the crew chief, just before I came up here. He said they're the best they've ever been, so we'll see.
Ryan Newman is out in front, 29 of 393 laps complete. Jeremy Mayfield dogging him for the lead at the Rock.